Hello and welcome to the latest edition of the New Haven Independent Vlog News Summary, direct from our newsroom, otherwise known as my compost heap. Let's see what stories we're working on this week. What's in this compost heap? A quarter, a dime, 35 lousy cents in this compost heap. This week, Governor Rell could not bring herself to give a raise of a lousy 35 cents to the state's 60,000 lowest paid workers. I'm talking about people on minimum wage. They haven't gotten a raise for years. The legislature passed a bill to just this tiny raise in the minimum wage, 35 cents an hour. Governor Rell vetoed it. Now here's the nonsense she gave. She pretended she was worried about them, not about her corporate buddies. She said, we can't afford this because people will lose their jobs if the minimum wage comes up. Now that's never happened. Do you know anyone? Forget studies, forget ideologues, forget politicians. Have you ever met a human being who has eliminated a job, a pizza delivery job, a counter job, a retail job, because the minimum wage went up? Never happened. I've never met anyone who's done it. They used to say, when they were vetoing minimum wage jobs, Republicans on the state level, they would say, well, if ours goes up, jobs will flee to other states. One study was actually done in Washington State. Didn't happen. No jobs went over the border. It's a lie. And it's cruel. People losing their jobs, people losing their homes, gas prices have gone through the roof, home heating oil. Tough times. We can give 35 cents an hour to the lowest paid workers. There's another bill that went across Rell's desk this week. By the time you watch this, I hope it's been signed, but I'm worried it won't be. That was to create a health insurance pool, because that costs have also gone through the roof. They want to help. The legislature wanted to start helping some people. They didn't go for the big fix, but they said, let people who work in nonprofit, city government, small businesses join the state employees' health pool. Then their rates will go down just like state employees. They won't be low, but they won't be crazy. You can afford to get sick, God forbid. Rell is listening to Anthem and HMO, which it doesn't want this to happen because then it can't charge as much as it wants. She's listening to CBIA, Connecticut's Business and Industry Association, because they have their little monopoly deal with their kind of health insurance plans that they sell to businesses that provides close to half their revenue. At the last minute, after this whole thing was passed, Anthem came up with this nonsense, said, oh, we're going to have to raise the rates on a state insurance plan if this goes through. Now, Attorney General Blumenthal this week came out with the report and said they can't do it. They're locked into rates. And plus, they're lying. The rates won't go up. Because when you have more people to pool, the rates go down. Do the right thing, Jody. In the meantime, she hasn't signed it yet. Give her a call. What other stories we got going this week? We got some nuts, pine nuts in the compost heap. And speaking of nuts, the biggest nut on our mind, New Haven, this week is this guy, Pastor John Hagee. He has a big flock. He's so influential. President Bush went for his endorsement. John McCain did. Then he had to renounce it. This guy preaches so much hate. He says that gays, we're going to have a parade in New Orleans. That's why we had Hurricane Katrina. Says the Catholic Church is the whore religion. He doesn't just say it once. He does all these demonstrations. You can watch it on the internet. Well, another pal of this guy is, believe it or not, Senator Joe Lieberman, our senator here in Connecticut, or reputably our senator. He's the big star at this guy Hagee's conventions. Calls him an Ish Elohim, man of God. He says your multitudes are greater than the ones that left Egypt with Moses. Now, John McCain, Joe Lieberman's buddy, has finally pretended to renounce Hagee after welcoming his endorsement because he's toxic. Joe Lieberman is going to headline his upcoming convention. Now, this has put some Jewish leaders in a quandary because Hagee has said Adolf Hitler, when he committed the Holocaust and killed 6 million Jews, this was God's plan to get Jews to Israel to fulfill a biblical prophecy. His idea is that get all the Jews there, and then when we're living there, he wants us to push out the Arabs, then have some big war where a lot of people die, because this is his idea of the rapture. And then at the last minute, after they're our friends of bringing Jews to Israel, we're going to have to convert to his vision of Christianity, the Hagee version, or else we get killed too. So anyway, all this controversy is happening. The Register did a front page story. Jewish leaders here say, well, that's a tough decision, but you know what? We don't like Hagee, but Joe, you're okay. Now, I think everyone's missing the point. The point isn't the Israel issue, because Joe Lieberman knows what he's doing with that. Joe Lieberman supports Israel, and he and a few other extreme right-wing Jews in leadership positions have made common cause for a lot of years now with these wacko, hateful right-wing Christians, because they say we have a common goal, which is their vision of what's best in Israel. And that we'll worry about this part about the rapture later, because wink, wink, we don't think it's going to happen, so no problem. But what about there are other Jewish values too. This kind of hatred toward gays, which leads to murder. Or calling the Catholic Church the whore religion. Or more importantly, the kind of friends Joe Lieberman has been making since 1988 in his quest for power. Jesse Helms, Tom DeLay, Charles Murray. He voted with Jesse Helms to deny federal money to counsel gay teenagers who were suicidal. This is rough stuff. So this week in the register, Jewish leaders in New Haven were giving him a pass again. Heads of Jewish institutions saying, "That's fine, Joe. Joe's a good guy. We have no problem with Joe." They've been making excuses for years. Well, here's the message. In the Jewish community, as in any other community, Christian community, black community, the leaders don't speak for most of us. In fact, most of us do have a problem with what Joe Lieberman's been doing and the hate and the viciousness he's been promoting in his own quest for power for years. We say it's wrong. We disavow it. Don't listen to leaders and watch your parking meters. Until next time, this is a New Haven Independent Vlog News Summary, and remember, always pick up or vote out your trash.